to Sports Dinner. Thank you to all of you for joining us under these extraordinary circumstances. We understand that the situation is incredibly difficult and very different from what we all had envisioned as our last, and for some of us our first, Sports Dinner. Although COVID has prevented us from delivering this event as we had hoped, as sports captains, along with the assistants from the P department and the first team sports captains, we will be attempting to provide you all with a memorable evening to commemorate all of your efforts towards Borlase sport.
As sports captains, Gabby and I are addressing this speech with the intention of covering this sixth form sporting prowess. We will keep this relatively short, not solely out of choice, but partly because our sporting success has been a bit limited. Since Year 7 though, our commitment to sporting excellence has been impeccable, and although not all the teams have been successful, it's the taking part that counts, right?
As a new student at Borlase, at the start of last academic year, the reputation of Borlase sport and its prowess were exceptional. Slightly daunting, I may add, but the coaching staff made the transition smooth due to their willingness to share their knowledge in an attempt to create the best athletes we could be. To all the external coaching staff and teaching staff, your level of commitment is second to none, and for that we are all exceptionally grateful.
One thing we have to be proud of though is how we've built up Borlase sport. Although results may not explicitly show this, the general movement of Borlase sport does. We've taken it from strength to strength, and it's nice to hear the school is going to repay us with a brand new sports hall, conveniently the year after we've left. All the fundraising we've done, all our contributions, and we can't even use it. I propose an idea that our year group be given access to use it whenever we want, but as this is the first time Miss Mountfield and Mr Duggan are hearing it, I don't know how successful the request will be.
I have to agree. It would be great as a year group if we could be part of the opening and use of the new sports facilities, as it would be our legacy once we leave for university and for our other future endeavours. Something to be proud of when returning as old Borlasians. Maybe these new facilities will help improve on the lower year group's success, as we would have loved to have experienced facilities even a fraction of the quality. Maybe we will have to come back and give them a test run.
It is most definitely annoying that COVID has caused our final year to be cut short. This has affected the winter sports worst, however, has created some of the best Borlase sport team records ever, with cricket, tennis and athletics all having unbeaten seasons. Congratulations.
Although this does exclude them from Team of the Year, making an already tough decision even tougher, with many teams standing at the end of the season with the same number of losses. All joking aside though, our year group has contributed hugely to Borlase sport in terms of leadership and setting the example for the lower sixth as role models.
Before we finish this speech, we wanted just to say a thank you to all the staff and coaches who have helped us through the years. Starting up new sports teams, running fun PE and games lessons, you've really made Borlase sport competitive and enjoyable.
We would like to say thank you to the entire PE department for all of your efforts this season. Everything you do to make fixtures and training run smoothly does not go unnoticed, and is greatly appreciated amongst all of the student athletes. A special thanks goes to Mr Duggan. You have provided a whole new outlook on Borlase sport in a way where we are learning to better and improve on ourselves, which previously we did not get to experience. We know this is not how you envisioned your first sports dinner happening, but hopefully we paved the way for the next generation of old Borlasians and what to expect from their own sports dinners.
It's a shame we haven't been able to do the sports dinner in person. It's really not the same. To the year below, I hope you can enjoy a proper dinner next year. However, to those leaving this year, and of legal age of course, I suggest you raise a toast and have a drink to celebrate our year group's sporting achievements.
And on that note, we would like to thank all staff and students for your contribution to Borlase sport. The 2020 season will truly never be forgotten.
Evening everyone, welcome to the annual Sports Award evening. This year, virtually. Normally we'd be together in person at the back end of April, but clearly we're going to have to be a bit flexible this year, but hopefully you enjoy the evening nonetheless. This evening is all about reflecting upon the academic year and the successes that a number of people and teams have had over the year, bringing positivity and looking back on what we believe is a crucial part to school life and Borlase sport. Over the course of the evening, you'll hear from the different sports, with member of staff reflecting upon their season, issuing colours and also talking about their players of the year. Colours will be issued either full colours or half colours. Half colours are a consistently high level of performance, a high level of commitment, and they demonstrate exceptional sportsmanship and character in line with what we believe are crucial for sport across the school. And full colours are a consistently outstanding level of performance, an outstanding and sustained level of commitment, and demonstrating, similar to half, outstanding and exceptional sportsmanship and character in keeping in line with the school's ethos. Students who received colours in year 12 cannot receive the same colours in year 13, but hopefully you'll hear some many successes from the different sports. And then alongside that, we'll be talking about our main awards, our Team of the Year, which will be voted by the sixth form captains and members of staff. The Robin Graham, which is for character and sporting integrity. The Patterson Trophy, which is for outstanding sporting endeavour. The Philip McIntyre Award, which is for outstanding sporting achievement. And the Audrey Moore, which is commitment to rowing. So hopefully lots of positiveness over the evening. So we'll also hear from Miss Mountfield, Old Borlasians and other members of staff. And it will be a real reflection of the whole sporting year across the school, which clearly has been disruptive, but it's also been great to see the level of commitment, the attitude, the commitment, dedication, and the success that a number of people have had. And it wouldn't be possible without the sport and PE team, which might be small when you look at it, who's at school, but the wider coaches and everyone that really commits to school sport is so beneficial to all the students. So I hope you have a good evening, enjoy yourself, and I shall speak to you later. Many thanks.
Hello, I'm Dominic and I was the captain of the first 11 Borlase football team for the 2019-2020 season. I'm going to give a bit of a summary of the season, a few personal highlights and some special mentions and thank yous as well. So this season we saw the introduction of a new coach, Mr. John Cullen. He took some time off work, worked brilliant with the boys, really showed how good of a coach he was, took us to games, etc. So straight off I want to say thank you from myself and all the boys to John for taking the time out and coaching us this season. We saw a bit of a rocky start to the season, a few undeserved results. However, there was a brilliant comeback against Aylesbury Grammar and that created a bit of a turning point in the season. We went on a bit of an unbeaten run there and lost just one game in the final 7 of the season. Although we were disrupted by the pandemic, I think we all enjoyed the season a huge amount. A highlight for me was the 2-0 win over local rival Shiplake. A couple of very good goals and some good game management with only 11 players available because so many of the younger boys had exam commitments at school. So special mentions first go out to Archie McGuinness in the middle, little terrier, little Jack Russell in the middle. He made a lot of friends this season, although he didn't really manage to bag any goals. Special mentions also go out to Harley and Toby. They really battled it out for that place in the starting 11. Harley, Toby, to and fro between the two of them. But in the end, Harley got his place in the team after some good performances, and Toby's now on some bigger and better things. Guest appearances from Adam Searle, albeit very uncoordinated. He added a bit of a height advantage, which, if you know me, no, I don't bring to the table. Also to Jake Ward and Thomas Crockett, brilliant commitment as well as consistency. Every game they turned up, scored some really important goals and led the team when I was unavailable. And also to Noah Fletcher, he is the youngest boy in the team, one of the year 11s that stepped up. He was also brilliant this season, scored some really important goals, and it was great to see 3 different age groups playing. So overall, we had a very thoroughly enjoyable season, some great camaraderie between the boys and some brilliant football throughout. So from me, I'd just like to say good luck to the boys next season. If there is a next season, who knows at the moment, it's all sort of up in the air, and for the rest of their footballing careers. So thank you.
Good evening, Borlase Sports Awards dinner. It's a shame that we can't all be together, but hopefully this virtual celebration will be a fitting tribute to the achievements of the various teams at Borlase. Some of you will know me, most of you probably won't. I've had the pleasure of coaching the First 11 football team this season. Before we get to the main awards, I'd like to run through some of the highlights. So the First 11 football season was split into three parts: the County Cup, the English Schools National Cup and friendlies. So this season started with the County Cup campaign, comprised 8 games, 3 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses. Particular highlights were against Royal Latin, Henry Floyd and especially Aylesbury Grammar, a fiercely contested performance and a well-deserved draw. Some great performances, lots of battling midfield duels, lots of passion, a few dubious refereeing decisions, and the league campaign was where Jake really found his goal-scoring touch. Ultimately, some great results. The English Schools National Cup campaign started off with a great win against John Majewski Academy. Unfortunately, second round we conspired to throw it away, conceded a very, very sloppy, undisciplined and disorganised third goal, which saw us exit at round 2. Friendlies, great performances against Shiplake College, and the final game against Magdalen College in Oxford was eventful and ultimately probably one of the better performances of the season. Only ended up in a draw, but a great performance nevertheless, and a great way for the Year 13s to sign off their Borlase football careers. So highlights aside, there have been some great performances by everybody in the squad. Everybody's contributed, both support-wise and performance-wise, and the First 11 as a squad have been a pleasure to work with. Which brings us on to colours for the 2019 to 2020 season. Half colours only this year, and those go to Thomas Crockett, Michael Hall, Jake Ward and Gautam Nimani. Congratulations to each of you, all well deserved. Next we have the Player of the Year award, and my able assistant is just handing me over the envelope. This year's Player of the Season goes to Thomas Crockett. Well done, Thomas. Special mention should also go to Dom for his leadership and fierce competitiveness in midfield, Fraser's vocal support and some great saves during the course of the season, Archie's passion, and another special mention to Noah Fletcher, who's come into the squad and really blossomed through the course of the season. Congratulations, each of you. It's a real disappointment not to be able to celebrate the awards in person. I'd just like to say to the Year 13s, thank you, being great representatives for the school. You've put in some great performances, some really great efforts. You've all developed in some way or other. And the Year 12s and Year 11s, I look forward to working with you next season. Enjoy your evenings and hope to see you soon. Good night.
Hi, I'm Georgie, the captain of the girls' first team for football, and today I'm going to give you guys a rundown on how our season went. So this season, all of the girls have pulled together to produce a hard-working, talented team, which has definitely produced the results to show for it. I personally have never seen a more dedicated group of players on a pitch. Their competitiveness and drive, it all really shone through during every match. In relation to fixtures, we've had 17-0 loss, but we haven't spoken about that since, so we like to think about the wins. We've had wins and draws against schools such as Magdalen College and Wellington. We've been really lucky this season as we've had some Year 11 players step in for us, such as Poppy Morgan, who definitely deserves a special mention due to her commitment and the number of goals she scored for us, so thank you, Poppy. Our goalie from Year 11 as well, Ailey Duncan, was also a great asset to the team during this season. She's produced some incredible saves, so good luck to you girls for the future. I have a number of moments worth mentioning during our matches, such as Millie Catchball's ability to fall after every tackle, and Siv Furios's and Cassie Halpin's powerful headers. Leah Tilley's diversity is definitely worth a mention. She produced Woman of the Match, not only in the defence but also in the midfield, so thank you, Leah, for playing with us and being such a great player. Despite 1 or 2 draws and defeats, the season most certainly did end on a good note. We managed a 6-0 win against Magdalen College. The girls' football team would have never had this much success throughout the season if it wasn't for the dedication and just pure love for the sport from all the girls, as well as the continued support from Mr. Robertson. So thank you to the girls and Mr. Robertson, and good luck to the next season of football.
Good evening all. I'm here to talk to you about the First 11 Girls Football, and you'll recognise where I am, I hope, walking down the cloisters, seeing all these wonderful historical shields full of football and cricket and rugby names. All boys actually, but of course back from when Borlase was an all-boys school. So girls football, what a revolution we are seeing. It's about our third full season really for girls senior football, but we have a juggernaut here which is building and growing. We have some unbelievably talented girls coming up through the system. Our under-13s this year got into the County Cup final. Unfortunately, due to lockdown, they didn't get a chance to play it. But they're coming through. Our under-14 girls got through to the last 32 in the National Cup, a cup that was entered by over 200 schools. It's happening, and it's happening right here. Mark my words, we will be number one in the country in the next 5 years. But anyway, to talk about the senior girls, well, I'm wearing the cap that we'll hand over to Georgie Watkins, our very capable, enthusiastic, committed and talented captain. What a fantastic final game of the season it was for you, Georgie, when you roofed one into the net over at Magdalen College when we stuck 5 or 6 goals past them. Great climax to the season. We've had some highs, we've had some lows, we've had some big wins, we've had some big losses. We had a couple of good matches against Wellington, home and away. But all in all, a great collection of players, and I've really enjoyed it. And I hope you continue to play football, those of you that are leaving us this year. Colours, we're not going to give out any half or full colours to girls football this year, not quite made the grade, but we did give some out last year. Player of the season, well, those of you that played for the girls team this year, it will be no surprise to you to know that we're going to give the player of the season to Leah Tilley. What a fantastic player she is. Always useful to have Leah in your side. If she's not scoring goals at one end, she's stopping them being scored at the other. So well done, Leah. I know you won the award last year, and in a way that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? A superb player, and I hope you too continue to play football as you move forward. So well done, girls. I hope you've enjoyed it. Here's to bigger and better in the future.
Everyone, this is the outfit the hockey boys would have worn had the sports dinner happened, so I deemed it appropriate to wear for this speech. Through this address, I'm going to try to maintain the traditions of a hockey captain's speech, briefly talk about the season, thank the coaches, and wish good luck to the team next year. On to results. Our season started off with some competitive friendlies to get us prepared for the league. These were really valuable in getting us prepared for the coming games, as they taught us what we needed to improve on. As it turns out, there was a lot. After the tough pre-season, we started the competitive fixtures with a 2-0 win against Bluecoat. Admittedly, the team was mainly Year 11s, with a couple of Year 13s, but nonetheless, it pushed us through to the next round of the Cup. Here, we faced Bradfield away. We went 2-1 down at half-time, but due to Tristan rinsing some of their defenders and a formidable effort from the team, we pulled it back and won 3-2. This was most definitely our best match and accurately showed the potential that was in this team. Next we played against Abingdon, where unfortunately we lost. That pretty much put an end to our competitive season, and then with COVID, everything got cancelled. We had a few final friendlies towards the end, but nothing competitive. It turns out we're a group of boys who like patterns though, as we decided to finish the season off as we started, with a couple of losses. Indoor-wise, we have big shoes to fill, with previous first teams winning nationals. From the get-go, it was going to be tough. We only had 7 players who wanted to play indoor, and with a maximum of 5 ever turning up to training, things were looking bleak. I would love to say that we defied the odds and had a tremendous indoor season, but as you could probably guess, we didn't. Later on in the season, a unique event popped up to play in the warm-up game for the varsity match where an ex-Borlasian was captaining the Cambridge side. To enter this game, we were going to have to do some fundraising in the shape of packing bags at Sainsbury's, doing a car wash, etc. Luckily, the cost was covered by Mr. Hazelhurst's company though, as I'm sure we wouldn't have earned any money doing the fundraising ourselves. Oh, we lost this game as well. On a positive note though, there was one aspect of our team we were surprisingly good at: karaoke. In the minibus, to and from away games, the AUX would be plugged in, bangers get put on, and then each individual would have a go at belting out their favourite song. High School Musical songs were unsurprisingly very popular. They helped us to get our heads in the game, but now that we are breaking free, we're not all in this together. I hope this singing carries on next year and you are able to teach the younger years how to sing. Whether it was Mr. Monk or Mr. Chappell, I apologise for making you listen to our dulcet tones. However, to the team next year, I did hear something about Mr. Monk liking a bit of Craig David. Back in Year 7, hockey was so popular. However, as time has gone on, the numbers who have played have diminished, leaving just 6. There's Will Howes, a man who started in defence but always had great attacking ability, so ended up finishing as a striker. There's Ollie Sayer, who you may not have seen much around school as he liked to spend time with his girlfriend. He was a great player though, and a good addition when he joined in Year 12. Then there's Callum. Like Ollie, he was new last year, but it was obvious that his heart was still at RGS. He came to do politics, but decided it wasn't for him, consequently leaving him stuck with us. Next we have Faber Finn. In the early days, Finn used to practice his goalie reflexes, throwing tennis balls over passing cars. He started outfield more and more though, and developed into a great left back. Finally, Felix. He maintained his impeccable fitness, doing cardio anywhere he could find. Unfortunately though, he tore a ligament in his heel last year. Thankfully, he got back to peak fitness quickly and was a key member to the team. Our main coach this year was Lee Morton. Being a Scottish international and GB athlete, he was able to pass on professional level advice to the team. Unfortunately, due to the slight language barrier, not everything came across clearly, but we managed to work it out. He was a great coach and made training very enjoyable. He would probably argue that we were quite a hard group to coach, partially because of Toby Fry, but mainly because we loved goal scoring so much it was hard to get us to do anything else. From all of us, a huge thank you, Lee, and good luck in your career. And our other coach, Mr. Monk, head of hockey, a fantastic coach. Well, we wouldn't know actually. We barely saw Mr. Monk. Obviously this wasn't his fault. He has so much on his plate managing hockey across the year groups, and he does a sterling job, so it was impressive that he was even able to come to the matches he did. I only wanted to mention that we saw him occasionally, because the times we did see him were away games, so obviously he loved the karaoke. As hockey captain, on behalf of the team and the school, Mr. Monk, you do an incredible job, and I want to say we all greatly appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Other coaches that have played a big role in our season include Mike Irving, Chris Sewell and Ben Dawson, who did the indoor sessions. Sorry we could never capitalise on your coaching, but thank you for letting us give it our best shot. And also thanks to Mr. Chappell, who would help drive us to matches here and there. As a concluding statement, I want to say thank you to all the boys for making it such a good season. Although we didn't win any national fixtures, or many fixtures at all, I had a great time and it's been an honour to captain the side. I wish all the best next year.
Hello everyone, Mr. Monk here. Hope you're keeping safe and well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon. It's now time for the Boys Under 18 Hockey Awards, and I'm going to hand over to Lee Morton very shortly. Lee's been the head coach for the outdoor campaign, done a fantastic job, and we're also going to hear from Mike Irving, who's done a brilliant job with regards to your indoor campaign. I've been involved sporadically through the season with the boys, Probably not as much as we would like to have been, but these two have done a fantastic job. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Lee.
Hi everyone, hope you're well. So just a quick recap of the boys under 18 season. So in the county tournament we finished second. We narrowly lost out to Stowe. It was a tough day for the boys, we had a few injuries to manage, but the boys did exceptionally well to beat the other opposition and then compete really strong in the final. In terms of the cup competition, we beat Bradfield away, which was a really good result for the boys. Really good team, and we stuck together and we got through. And then unfortunately we narrowly lost again to Abingdon, where we had a goal disallowed, so that was really tough to take. But overall the boys had a really good season and a lot to build on for next.
Hello to the Borlase under 18 boys indoor team. I want to say a massive thank you to all of your efforts this year. It was a real pleasure to work with you and to see how far you boys had grown and developed over the indoor campaign. Huge shout out as well to Chappers for giving up your time as always. Massive pleasure to work with you on the indoor with Borlase once again. Great to be reunited. But yeah, huge thank you to you boys. I think you boys made it a really special year, as always, with Borlase Indoor. Worked really hard, some early mornings, some late evenings, and some real hard work put in between. So huge thank you to all of you. Good luck to the year 13s who are moving on. I hope you enjoyed your indoor throughout your time at Borlase, and year 12s, let's go and smash it again next year.
Thanks guys, that was great. I'm glad you've had plenty of highlights through the season. So now we're going to move on to the award of colours. We award half colours and full colours across the year groups. They are for senior colours of year 11 to 13. Generally with hockey, we believe they are there to be earned. So they're not up for grabs for everybody. But obviously if you work hard and you put the time into your hockey on and off the pitch, then you will be rewarded for it. So without further ado, I'm going to move on to half colours. And half colours this year for the 2019-20 season have been awarded to Ben Hoggan, Will Hunter, Will Howes, Callum Inchbold, Oliver Sayer and Felix Ragg. Guys, well done, congratulations and fully deserved. And full colours, we've only given out one full colour this year, and the full colours goes to Ben Ferguson. Ben, fantastic work, you've been a pleasure to work with, well done. I'm now going to hand back to Lee Morton, who's going to award the Player of the Season for 2019-20.
Next up we have the Boys Under 18s Player of the Year. So we've got a few special mentions. So Felix, Hogan, Tristan, three guys that have just done really well this year. They've really improved and they've really been key part of the team that's on and off the pitch, just bringing everyone together. And they've also come up with some really big moments throughout the year. There has been one standout player who's just shown real hard work, been there almost every week, great influence on the others, both on and off the pitch. He's played in the back line, played in the midfield line, pretty much wherever the team needs him he will go. He's played a lot of minutes this year, which shows he's got great fitness as well. So the 18s Player of the Year is Ben Ferguson. Well done, Ben.
Thanks Lee, and well done Ben, thoroughly deserved, and as Lee mentioned, fully committed on and off the pitch, will always play whichever role you'd want him to in the team. So Ben, well done. Guys, just from Borlase hockey as a whole, I'd like to thank all the hockey players across the age groups, girls and boys, under 18s. You've been fantastic servants to Borlase hockey over the years, and I would just like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much. It's a shame we couldn't do it as we would have liked to, but I'm hoping to see some of you soon, and I'll be in touch about future plans. Good luck with whatever you do, and like I said, let's hope to see you soon.
Hi everybody, my name's Ellie. I'm the Borlase Hockey Girls first team captain for the 2019-2020 season. I hope you've all had a really good lockdown. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how our season went. So we started off the season by gaining 4 really valuable players. So we gained Becky, Lulu, Katie and Beth. They all came from a kind of similar area, so they knew each other and they were already well played together. So they came in, filled some slots, really helped us this year, score goals, get loads of play, that sort of thing. So the first kind of fixture we had was our St George's Sevens friendly tournament. And we did pretty well considering we were a completely new team. You had really good teams there like Surbiton, Wellington, St George's, again, really, really good teams. So considering that, we did do really well. As far as games went this season, we played 19, we won 10, we drew 2 and we lost 7. So still positive, but definitely something to look for next season. I don't think it actually reflects the ability of our team. I think that's probably down to some lack of commitment and things like that, but we definitely could have done much better than that. We scored 85 goals, so a lot of goals, scored by the likes of like Lulu, Sophie Bone-Evans, Emily Cowan scored a few of those. We also conceded 63, so we had a positive goal difference of 22, which again is really good. We had some really good games against, for example, Charterhouse, we beat them 12-0. We beat Surbiton High 5-2, which for that game we actually had some players missing, so we borrowed, I think, Imi Dogood, Charlotte Dudley, Flossie Rowley, Alison Norman, people like that. So a massive thank you to those guys who stepped up for us and played really well, considering you were playing obviously 2 years higher than you actually are. Another massive thank you to Katie Shaw, who is a Year 8 goalkeeper. So unfortunately, midway through the season, we lost our keeper. And Katie Shaw, she's in Year 8, so obviously playing many, many years higher than she's supposed to be. Played in goal for us so many times, did so well. And I don't doubt that she'll do really well in the future in hockey. So massive good luck to you, Katie, and thank you so much for playing for us. Lastly, I want to say a massive thank you to our coaches this year. So Lee Morton, Mr. Chappell, Mr. Sewell. You really helped us out this year, and so thank you so much for being our coaches this year. Also massive thank you to Mr. Monk, who we really actually could not do it without. Sets up all the fixtures for us, works really hard. So thank you so much, Mr. Monk. And then also thank you so much for letting me be your captain this year. I've had an absolutely amazing time, and yeah, good luck to the next captain in the future. I hope the season next year goes even better.
Hello, I've got the pleasure of giving the awards for the girls' First 11 hockey for the 2019-2020 season. Girls, it's been a real pleasure working with you over the last 4 years for some of you. For some it was just as incoming Year 12s last year, but it's been great watching you grow as individuals and as a group over that time, and I hope we can continue that work going forward. I'm sorry to say I'm actually moving across to the boys' First 11 next year, but I really hope you can continue to install and embed those cultural principles that we set out over the last couple of years and make those top priority. You are the pinnacle of the school girls hockey, and you are role models to those in the junior sides underneath you. And for me and for Mr. Monk, they are so important to the standards we set as part of our school hockey. So please keep those at the top of your agenda as you move forward. I'll introduce Chris in a minute. He's going to go through Player of the Season awards. But I'm going to move forward with some colours. Firstly, to outgoing Year 13s. These are half colours. They go to Lucy, B and to Jess. Well done, girls. It's been great watching you progress over the last 4 years that I've worked with you. Lucy, you've got incredible raw speed about your game, but it's been wonderful watching you develop your understanding of the game and watching your technical development. Particularly your hands have come a long way, and that's testament to your commitment to the training session. So well done. Jess, similarly, it's been great watching you influence games. Some of your endeavour, some of your commitment, hard work in games is really second to none sometimes. So half colours to Jess and to Lucy as outgoing Year 13s. Half colours also go to Year 12s. So we've got Ellie W and we've also got Maddie. Well done, girls. Your commitment to the hockey club over the years has been brilliant, and it's not changed going into a sixth form environment. So well done, you fully deserve that. We've also had a lot of new incoming Year 12s who've joined the school, mainly from Gillets, who've made a very positive impact on the squad and helped us move forward. And the 4 that we're going to award the half colours to this year are 4 that really have been committed to training, to games, probably more so than anybody else. And I hope you can continue to influence next year's Year 12s when you guys are Year 13s next year. So half colours also go to Becky, B, to Lulu, to Katie and to Gracie. Girls, well done, you thoroughly deserve it. We only have 1 full colour this year, and that goes to our Captain Fantastic, Ellie. Ellie, it's fully deserved, well done. You've got the raw talent there, and like I said, we're losing that raw pace about your game to be able to destroy some opponents. I hope your hockey keeps going from strength to strength as you move on to university, and who knows how far you could go in terms of climbing that talent ladder. If you put the work in, then I'm sure you'll get a hell of a high reward out of it. So please keep playing the game, as with all of you, keep engaged in it, whether you're ladies first team, ladies fifth team, it doesn't matter to me. I just hope you enjoy and love the game as much as I do. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Chris now, who's going to just reiterate our player of the season. We already did this as part of the hockey club when we went into lockdown, but here's Chris to announce our player of the year.
Thanks, Trappers. I just wanted to give my congratulations on to Ellie winning the player of the season for the girls under 18s. She's led the team fantastically well, put in some sterling performances, and both Trappers and I think you thoroughly deserve the award. Just wanted to add on, thank you to everyone who's been part of the girls team this year, who have made it so enjoyable. It's been a lot more fun than I thought it would be, and that's down to you girls, so thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by saying a big thank you to Mr. Duggan and to all the staff across PE and sport who worked so hard across this very difficult and unusual year for sport at Borlase. This year started so well, with Borlase Sport doing what it does brilliantly: mass participation, having everyone involved, but also elite team sport. And the sports department have kept everyone going through lockdown with online videos, the Borlase Boost, and you've cycled and run and walked and ergoed to sustain your fitness. The autumn term seems such a long time ago, doesn't it? When we started with the cross country, with everyone in the whole school out running through Higginson's Park. And do you remember those days when it was possible to tackle someone as they charged towards goal, or get stuck in ripping out a ball from a ruck without worrying about who you were close to or who you were breathing heavily on? Remember when you could row in an 8 and create a human pyramid in cheerleading? But sport will be back at Borlase. We do need to watch the guidelines and stay safe, but much is possible if we're creative. The foot golf with year 10 was a start, I have to say. Rowing is back on the water in single sculls, and hockey are practising skills in groups of 6. We'll find a way to play sport again, because sport is central to our culture at Borlase. It's so important for our physical health, for our mental and emotional well-being, and it brings joy and fun into our lives. So I'm with Michael Vaughan on cricket. We need to find a way. Borlase will be creative in getting sport back into school and safely. After all, we've invested in a massive new sports complex. The new AstroTurf will be open when you arrive back in September. The new netball courts are ready, and hopefully you'll be able to see the sports hall almost not almost fully built, but starting on its way. So sport plays a huge part in Borlase life, and I'm sure that will be the case as we move forward. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Enjoy your sports dinner. All the best.
Hello, my name is Greg, and I was at Borlase from 1997 to 2003, and I'm delighted to be speaking to you on behalf of the Old Borlasian Club. The Old Borlasian Club is very proud to be sponsoring the sports caps for this event. The club has 2 major aims: to maintain contact among former students and staff, and to promote the interests of the school. We are currently undertaking a major project to catalogue and display many of the historic artefacts and photographs in the school's archive, including various pieces of sporting memorabilia, and we hope that our new gallery in the cloisters will be open for viewing later in the year. As I said, the Old Borlasian Club is committed to supporting the school, and what better way than by celebrating the sporting achievements of current students. Because of the pandemic, many sporting fixtures have had to be cancelled. As a tennis player myself, I am acutely aware that we should be in the midst of the Wimbledon Championships at the moment, and Henley Royal Regatta would also have taken place around now. It is difficult to quantify the effect that the cancellation of competitive sport has had on people's physical and mental health. Regular exercise is so important for one's sense of well-being. So, it is encouraging that Borlase continues to invest in sporting facilities with the construction of a new sports hall and associated pitches. This investment will provide the infrastructure necessary for Borlasian sportsmen and women to achieve their highest potential. As a former rower, I'd also like to mention the centenary of the boat club, and we very much hope that the celebrations will not be too much curtailed by social distancing. It is wonderful to see sport at Borlase continuing to thrive, with many pupils representing their school, county, and even their country in their chosen disciplines. A contemporary of mine went on to win a silver medal at the 2012 Summer Olympics in the men's lightweight 4, so the bar is set pretty high. Celebrating all your achievements is one of the many reasons why the Old Borlasian Club is delighted to sponsor the Caps for the sports dinner again this year. All of the club's income comes from membership subscriptions. For those of you who are leaving Borlase this year and would like to become a member of the Old Borlasian Club as a way to stay in touch with friends and to support future generations of Borlasian athletes, you can sign up for £15 for the year via the Parent Pay website, and all members get a badge like the one I'm wearing now. For an additional £12, you can also order a club tie as part of your subscription. Many congratulations to all who have been awarded caps and prizes this year, and on behalf of the Old Borlasian Club, I wish everyone a very enjoyable evening.
Hi guys, I hope you're all safe and well. I am here to present a very special award of full honorary colours to a senior cheerleader. This cheerleader was selected via her club to represent Team UK for Urban Cheer, which is a mix of street dance and cheerleading. The competition happened back in 2019 and they came in first place. They won a gold, and that's absolutely fantastic for Team UK Cheer. So many congratulations for that. But over the season, this athlete has showed such determination, such commitment to the sport. I personally have trained with her and she's given me concussion on one occasion. But I'm absolutely delighted to announce that the recipient of this award for full honorary colours for cheerleading goes to Emily Annis. Say, we are proud of you. Say, we are proud of you. We are proud of you. Say, we are proud of you. Whoa, good job!
Following the loss of some key talent, a new coach and an inexperienced squad, we found ourselves at the receiving end of a less than flattering opening game against Aylesbury Grammar School. Following a strong few weeks of training, the team displayed a strong performance against Roundwood Park in the National Cup. Norbert in particular was key in driving the momentum forward. However, we were unable to capitalise at key moments, resulting with the team getting knocked out of the National Cup. Despite these early setbacks following the half-term break, the team appeared rejuvenated against Dr. Challengers with a highly competitive match. Despite the allure of a rugby social, if we won from Alex Wood, we were unable to hold on to our slim lead. Following on from this gain in momentum, we faced Lord Williams School at Marlow Rugby Club. Missing key members due to Oxford interviews, we found ourselves at the receiving end of 3 unanswered tries. However, we bounced back with standout performances from James Sarney and Matt Allen, bringing us within contention of winning. However, some controversial refereeing decisions prevented us from achieving this. We finished the season with a strong performance against RGS in the rain and mud, and despite a mixed season, what was clear was the growth in the squad, especially from our younger years, with Year 11 stepping up to the plate and making key contributions to the team, particularly Kit Selman, who was outstanding throughout the season. Laying the foundations for a strong rugby team for years to come, Our improvement was so well renowned that local rivals Great Marlow cancelled against us twice.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about rugby now, making reference to both boys and girls rugby over the next few minutes. So think about boys rugby. Having been on the opposition sideline until this September, I knew what Borlase rugby was about and I was a bit nervous starting. When I first had a meeting with the senior squad and only 4 turned up, I definitely knew it was going to be an uphill battle and maybe a transition year after quite a few years where Mr. Hills had the reins. But nonetheless, we were able to fulfil all our fixtures. We were a mature team, quite a few year 13s, which was supported by some committed year 12s and a number of year 11s. And we had a great season in terms of the development that we went through. Starting the year against Aylesbury Grammar was always going to be tough, especially when they then brought on a whole another 15 at half time. We had some other close games, particularly against Roundwood Park School in the Schools Cup, the national competition, and that's probably the game that got away. We had a number of players back from injury and availability, and we really were firing all guns, and we should have really won that fixture. We also played John Hampden and an RGS 15, and unfortunately we lost, but the two kind of really other close games were against Challengers, where the referee definitely had a few decisions that went their way instead of ours. And then the Lord Williams fixture against School from Tame, where the referee on that occasion made sure that it was a close competitive game. Reflect upon the season, Cam Jones was our captain and he led the team really well, very committed in terms of training. He wore his Welsh kit too often, but was a definite leader off the pitch, getting the boys organised for all the fixtures, and just making sure that he helped me with the admin side of things, as well as playing really well during our games. Colours wise, I want to award some colours. I want to award half colours to Matt Allen, James Sarney, Alex Wood, Tom O'Connell, Chris Coyne and Leo Langridge. So well done to those boys. In terms of Player of the Year, this was very hard. A number of players played very well across the whole season. But someone that stood out right at the start and really developed as the season went on was Matt Allen. So Matt, congratulations, you're our Player of the Year. The only time we had to have a word with Matt was when he started making noise and shouting at people when he ran into contact. So I'm sure he can sort that out. But really, really well done to Matt, and a big thanks to Cam for his captaincy. Thinking about girls rugby, one thing that I was very impressed about and encouraged by was when I started at the school. I think within the first few days, I had Kate and Yaz come up to me and ask me about organising girls rugby, and we regularly got training off the ground, and had a really good large number of attendees at training. In terms of fixtures, it's hard in the local area to get fixtures against full girls teams, so we'd enter a mixed tournament, but unfortunately that got cancelled because of COVID. But the training sessions we were having running up to that tournament were really competitive, and some really high standard of rugby shown by all those getting involved. Special mention to Liv Lowry, Kate and Yaz, who were really committed this year, but also speaking to colleagues in terms of the commitment in previous years, and getting younger students involved in rugby, and helping them practice and the run up to local tournaments in previous years was really helpful. And I know that was definitely highlighted by a number of colleagues when we discussed this evening, but also in terms of girls rugby specifically. So big thanks to everyone for their involvement. I hope next year we'll be able to get a Levers rugby fixture and play some mixed touch, and give you a proper send-off. But big thanks to all those who participated this year in rugby, have really inspired the younger students. Our numbers there are massive, and that wouldn't be possible without the role models in sixth form. So big thanks to everyone who got involved, and congratulations to those who got colours and awards.
Good evening everyone, I am Ed O'Neill and this year I've had the honour of being the rowing captain for Borlase Boat Club. We started the season with confidence, leading off the impressive finish we had last year. We were undefeated in our first 2 races at Wallingford and at Reading, and at Reading we had a stellar performance, with a win in the quad that was entered in a university event, a first and third place finish in the J18 singles, second place for our J18 4, and a win for the double of Ethan Leonard and Tobias Francis. This left us thirsty for some real competition, so with our inflated egos, we flew over to Boston, Massachusetts to compete ahead of the Charles Regatta, the largest head race in the world. We were up against a packed international field where we entered a boys' quad and 4, consisting of Samuel Nicklin, Oliver Lane, Norbert Bollier, Joseph Hazelhurst, Benjamin Jackson, Ben Furley, and myself. The boys' quad had a strong start to the race, instantly overtaking the 2 crews in front. We were sitting in a comfortable 7th place until disaster struck. A surprisingly explicit Catholic school decided to box us into a bridge, causing a 30-second stop to our race. We later tried to find the crew to discuss the crash, but after seeing Norbert, they were nowhere to be found. As for the 4, they were cursed with injury before flying out, and despite having to get a last-minute sub in for the 4th spot, they pulled together an impressive race in one of the toughest categories. When we touched back down on UK soil, 3 of our athletes headed over to the slightly less glamorous Boston, Lincolnshire for GB trials. We had a strong performance from all 3 of the boys, and with their gained experience, I'm looking forward to see what results they can produce next year. And that was it, folks. The end of our season. Last year we had an A quad pre-qualify for the Fawley Cup at Henley and a B quad narrowly miss out. These crews were made up completely of Year 11s and 12s, competing in an event dominated by the J18 crews. This time around, with another year's development and experience, I think the squad could have done something really special. And rowing has always been an amazing experience at Borlase. Back in Year 9, many will remember they would have such high numbers we'd struggle to get everyone out on the water, so if you were small, you'd have a nice run to the bounty and back to look forward to. And as the years went on, luckily less running was involved, but it's been great to see the dedication of some of our athletes who have stuck it out to the end. I am extremely proud as a year of everything we've achieved, even though it is just Ollie, Norbert, myself and maybe Samuel who are left. I want to thank all the squad members through the years for making it such a memorable experience. But now we should not dwell on what could have been, as we have a lot to look forward to in the coming years for our rowers and the future of Borlase rowing.
Hello, good evening everyone. Hope you're all enjoying the evening so far, and welcome to tonight's Borlase Sports Awards for the 2020 season. It's a shame that we can't be at Harleyford this evening, sat around the table enjoying a nice meal together, but I hope you're enjoying this version instead. So this year's been particularly disappointing in terms of the summer has been totally wiped out by the pandemic, but unfortunately our winter for the rowers was also a nightmare as well because of the bad weather we had. About 15 of the races that we had planned were cancelled through the winter. So just to go through some of the races that we were able to compete at, despite a lot of them being cancelled, we still managed to get various wins and medals at Reading University Head and at Wallingford Head earlier on in the year. So our boys quad won at Reading Head along with the double. So twinned in with racing at the head of the Charles in Boston. We also got to go and look around quite a few universities over there. We went for a day visit down to Brown University in Rhode Island and did a training session down there. We went and looked around Harvard University as well. We were also due to race at the Heineken Cup in Amsterdam in March. Unfortunately, on our way to the airport, our boats had already been driven over to Amsterdam. But on the bus on the way to the airport, we had a phone call from the organiser telling us the event was cancelled. So unfortunately, we got to Luton and had to turn around and drive straight back to school. This also led to the GB junior trialling system being cancelled. We competed at the first trial in November, but then the second one got cancelled because of the bad weather, and then following that, the Junior World Championships and the Coupe, which is the European Championships, have also been cancelled for this season. But we still do have some awards to give out to you. So half colours are given out to athletes who win a regatta or head race throughout the season. So it could be any regatta or head race.
and also qualifying for Henley Royal Regatta. Full colours are given to athletes who win a medal at any major event, so the Schools Head, the Sculling Head, National Schools Regatta or Henley Regatta. And half colours may also be awarded to Year 13s that have shown a good contribution, good commitment to the team and the ethos that is Borlase rowing. So this year our 2020 half colours are awarded to Sam Nicklin, Ed O'Neill, Oliver Lane, Norbert Bollier and Toby Francis. So this year's Rower of the Year award, we have about 4 or 5 Year 13s that could have won it or are in the running for it. So yeah, this year Rower of the Year goes to Norbert Bollier. So the Audrey Moore Award is for rowers who have shown a good commitment, a good contribution to building the team at Borlase Rowing. And this year it goes to a girl in Year 13. She is our only Year 13 female rower, but she's been really good at bringing up the younger groups, the Year 11s and 12s. She stuck with it despite no one else in her year carrying on with rowing. She shows a massive dedication to training. She very rarely misses a session. So this year our Audrey Moore Award goes to Charlotte Faulkner.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte, and as captain I've had the pleasure of leading the girls rowing squad through a great, although very short season this year. After coming off the back of a strong finals performance at National Schools Regatta last year, we are in high spirits heading into the beginning of this 2020 season. After losing 3 of our Year 13 girls off to uni, I gained 3 girls from Year 12, setting our J18 boat for the season, consisting of Danny Tabner, Ellie Harkin, Emily Farmer and myself. Our first race commenced with an 8-hour trek over the pond to Boston in the United States, where we raced our senior J18 quad down the brutal 3-mile course of the famous Head of the Charles Regatta, where we faced the even more vicious American crews taking, and I quote, no prisoners as they raced against us. This was a great experience, where we got to watch racing over the weekend from the incredible Harbour Boathouse. However, the girls were not allowed inside the boathouse itself, due to reports of male athletes walking around, let's say, indecently in the Ergon training room. Back in the UK, 2 of our J16 girls headed up to Boston, Lincolnshire to take part in early IDs for the GB trials. Where they performed well, we were unable to continue along this path this season due to the next set being cancelled. For our second race this season, we took to the Tideway in London, where we hope to test our top quad combined of both senior girls and J16 girls against the competition to see our odds for later in the regatta season. However, due to different illnesses hitting all our girls unfortunately on the same weekend, we suffered several last-minute changes, resulting in an interesting race in even more interesting conditions. After an intensive set of winter training, building us up stronger than ever, courtesy of Andy Joel, we headed into what ended up being our final race of the year at Hampton. Here we raced both J16 and J18 quads and doubles, as well as other events with the J15 squads, picking up some decent results. After this, the intense winter training extended fully into the spring, due to the incredibly inconvenient number of storms we experienced earlier this year, then making way to even more unwelcome flooding. And then, consequently, all our races being cancelled due to this paired with strong winds. Then, the domination of the coronavirus led to all our remaining major regattas this season being cancelled, so we couldn't see our full potential built up over the land training. To end the season last year, we had the amazing experience of racing down the world-famous Henley Regatta course, and we were gutted this year not to be able to face the course again. Over the years, we've had a number of girls take up rowing, and I've had a great experience over all 5 of those years, despite being the only girl in my year to survive to the end. I hope the club has a more successful year next year, with less storms, flooding, and hopefully one less global pandemic. Thanks for listening.
Hi everybody, it's Mr. Joel here. I hope you're all enjoying the virtual sports dinner. Now, I've had the absolute pleasure of working with the senior girl rowers this year, and so we'll talk a little bit about their season and then we'll move on to the awards. Now, unfortunately, this season for all rowers around the country has been filled with misfortune. We lost the river through a particularly bad winter, and that meant we weren't able to get on the water from sometime in mid-November all the way until mid-March. This meant that the girls had to spend a huge amount of time in the gym, on the rowing machines, lifting weights, sometimes training up to 8 times per week. Despite these poor circumstances, the girls all showed excellent resilience and commitment to their training and to Borlase rowing. Now, it wasn't all doom and gloom. We did manage to get some early races in during our head season, which the girls performed very well at, and we had some strong results, including 3rd place at Reading Head in the junior women's under-18s quads. The girls also had the opportunity to race at the head of the Charles in Boston, America. We had 2 girls take part in the under-18 Great Britain trials despite only being 15 and 16 years old, and they were Julia Sarno and Anna Graham Usabiaga respectively. Our final race was Hampton Head, where our under-16s girls quad placed 5th, our under-18s girls quad placed 20th, and our under-18s girls double placed 17th. These results indicated that we were on for a good regatta season and potentially achieving our main objective, which was to qualify for the under-18s women's quads at Henley Women's Regatta and Henley Royal Regatta. Now, unfortunately, coronavirus decided to come along and throw a big spanner in the works, and unfortunately it wiped out our entire regatta season, which meant we will never know what could have been. Now, despite the racing season being cancelled and all of the poor circumstances that the girls have had thrown at them this year, we are going to award a number of half colours to girls who showed extraordinary levels of commitment to Borlase rowing. The awards for half colours go to Charlotte Farmer, Emily Farmer, Daniela Taverner, Ellie Harkin and Charlotte Faulkner, who unfortunately will be leaving us this year to go off to university. Girls, you should all be extremely proud of the hard work that you've put into Borlase rowing this year and the years before. Now, not only has Charlotte been our club captain this year, but she's also been one of the top performing girls in the squad. She's been in the top boat at numerous races. She's been an excellent role model to the younger girls in the club. And as well as being awarded her half colours, she is our female rower of the year. Congratulations, Charlotte. You've been a class act. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you. And on behalf of the rest of Borlase Rowing, we wish you all the best for your future at university. Now, we're not going to award any full colours this year for the senior girls rowing, but a number of those athletes who have just been awarded their half colours, you have another opportunity next year to come back, put in some hard work, and maybe earn those full colours. Girls, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you this year. You've definitely made me a very proud coach. I look forward to working with those of you who will be returning next year, and for those of you who are leaving us, best wishes for the future.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan and I was lucky enough to be the captain of the netball first team this year, as well as coach for the very few training sessions that actually took place. Despite our season being cut short, netball as a whole has had a relatively successful season, even facing some challenging odds. Both teams started strong, with convincing wins against Dr. Challoner's boys' school. The first team continued their streak in the BCA game before narrowly missing out on a win against Wickham Abbey by only 3 goals. The first team continued on to win against Great Marlow, regardless of the fact training for both squads had been suspended due to the courts being unusable, another challenge for our teams to overcome. The difficulties we had with training, or lack thereof, continued to hinder our potential as a squad, facing another loss against Wickham High. However, we persevered and triumphed at the Kingsmead tournament, drawing against 2 of the strongest teams there, Wickham High School and Beaconsfield High School. Considering these were the first 2 games of the day, we faced them with a mild dread, only making the final score even more extraordinary. Not to mention the fact that our team included 3 extremely talented netball players from lower down the school, who we had only played with in the half-an-hour warm-up before our first game. It was a pretty incredible feat to level teams that had players from regional and even national squads and had been playing together for many years. Finishing on a high, the first team went on to place second in the district tournament, despite having missed out on training for months prior. Even though we face many challenges as a sport, our netball squads, and particularly those moving into year 12 and 13, have shown incredible diligence and determination. And I look forward to hearing about the future success of netball at Borlase in the future. Thanks for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about netball now. I took over the administration and organisation of netball when Miss Lewis left at Christmas to go to Australia. I would like to thank her for all her time and commitment to netball at her time at Borlase, and particularly since I joined the school at September. It's been great to see the numbers of girls playing netball, and that's a reflection of Miss Lewis's commitment, along with obviously members of staff before her. So the under-18 netball team have had a great year. They've been very successful over the course of the season. They beat Berkshire College of Agriculture, GMS. Our Borlase A team and B team play in the same league, so the A team won that fixture. And then they had some really close fixtures against Wickham High and Wickham Abbey. Unfortunately losing them, but it was very close fixtures, and it showed the potential that the girls have as a team. And in addition to that, we represented the school at the district tournament, which was pre the pandemic lockdown, but also they played in the county round of the National Schools Qualifier over at Kingsmead, which can only be described as one of the worst conditions of weather, and it was like a monsoon, so well done to the girls. In the district tournament, they came third, which was a great achievement, and as I said, showed when everyone's there and firing on all cylinders, we can be a really strong and competitive team. But from one of my personal highlights this year was when I went to the county round of the National Schools Qualifier at Kingsmead. We had a young team, I think there was only a few year 13s, and we then were boosted by year 12s and some year 11 students, and the girls played incredibly well to come third. And they were very close to second place and even the top place, with the top two going to the next round. So it just shows really how competitive Borlase netball is. So well done to all the squad for their commitments. The team was led really well by Megan Lister, who was very impressive in the attacking third, and she was supported well by a number of other students. Particularly Miranda Coombs, Ella Davis, Sophie Underwood, Wendy, Ella, and then mentioned some year 13s, Liv Lowry, along with Kate, Kat, Georgia, and a few others. In terms of colours, we've decided to give half colours to Sophie Underwood, to Miranda Coombs and Ella Davis. And we've decided to give full colours to Megan Lister, and I think that's a reflection of Megan's commitment over the time at school, but also the level that she's been playing at. So well done to Megan. Player of the Year was really hard to decide this year. We've had a number of students and players who have really been competitive and showed a really high level of ability across the season, particularly in the tournaments. We've decided to give the Player of the Year to Megan Lister, as we felt that she made a real difference on court, but also off the court with regards to her leadership of the team. The facilities upgrade at Borlase has really hit the netball courts hard, and we understand that, and we're grateful for the patience that all the girls have shown. My aim is that next year we get a Leavers 7 or Leavers team back and play our current students, so we can have a real good send-off, the one you deserve, because the netball legacy is definitely there. The numbers of participation lower down the school are brilliant, and that's only helped by the role models that we've had in the sixth form over the recent years. So just leaves me to say many thanks for everyone's hard work. I hope you stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you back at Borlase when the time is right.
So I'm here in the school chapel, a very special place at this school for many, many reasons. And there's a good reason that I'm here. I'm here to present one of the top 4 awards, and the award that I'm here to present is called the Robin Graham Award. It's the first time I've ever presented it from the chapel, because we're normally at the sports dinner. And what I would normally do is explain to you a little bit of information that goes into the background of the award. This is the award itself. It's a It's a shield. And the reason I'm in here is because you may have noticed that in times gone by, Robin Graham's name is actually on a plaque on the chapel wall. Robin died in 2007. He was I guess I would describe him as a beautiful person. Robin was a little bit larger than life. He was about 6'4", and he had striking blonde hair, and he loved his football. He was captain of the second 11, an honour that he absolutely adored. Back in those days, we had a second 11 that trained every week, and they wore these special blue shirts. And the reason they trained every week was because Robin was there, and Robin was very passionate about getting people out and playing. Robin completed his A-levels at the end of year 13. And during that summer holidays, such was his passion for football, is Robin and his friends were playing in one of the back gardens of a friend, which happened to back onto the Thames. Inevitably, a ball was kicked into the river at some point, and the boys probably all took a knee and said, "Not me." And classic Robin, being the kind man that he was, he said, "I'll get it." And he went into the river to get the ball, and he didn't come back. He was 18, and I guess he'd now be in his 30s, and he may have had family, he may have met other people, he will have met other people that he would have loved and would have loved him. This award captures his personality. And so in many ways, it's the most special award of the evening. It's available to everybody, because everybody has the potential to have the personality and the character that Robin had, the kindness for everybody. And I mean everybody. He's the kind of person that just doesn't say negative things about people. He's not a gossiper like most of us are. He's just a good person. And so when he was taken from us at such a young age, you can imagine the impact it had on so many people. Not just his family and friends, but those that knew him. Now, his parents wanted us to recognise how important sport was to him and the second 11. In fact, Robin, when he was buried in his second 11 shirt. This particular shield is a special piece of wood that Robin's father took and made the shield out of. And he asked that we present this award each year to honour his son. And that's why it's the most special award of the evening. And that's why it's always such a privilege to give it out. So this year, as always, we sit down as a department, lots of us, and we talk about all the possibles. And it normally follows a similar pattern, in that one name emerges and we're all agreed. And that was the case again this year. We've decided to award this to somebody who has many of the characteristics that Robin had. And those that know this person, I'm sure, will agree. I've known him since he joined the school in year 7. I taught him quite a bit when he was in year 8, and he's the kind of guy that you walk past in the corridor and he'll smile and say hello, which was exactly the kind of thing that Robin did. So I think you will all be agreed and delighted to hear that we have chosen this award to go to Max Clark this year. Well done, Max. Thank you, Max. And I wish you all the best in your future. You are a superb person. Take care.
Hi everyone, I'm back again to talk about the Philip McIntyre Award, which is for Outstanding Sporting Achievement, one of the main awards of the evening. Previous winners for this trophy have been Jack Beaumont, who is a GB Olympian and one of our alumni, Livy Page, who's a GB hockey player. We've had Chris Laurie, who had multiple Henley Royal Regatta wins and GB Junior Worlds medals for rowing. In 2017, we had Seb Gary, who recently has been an under-20 World Triathlon Champion. Tom Dean in 2018, he's won gold medals as a swimmer in the European Championships for GB. And last year was Mila Welsh, who is a GB under-21 hockey goalkeeper. So amazing success over the previous winners, and it's an award that we within the Sport and PE team had a lot of discussion about. We debated long and hard about who should win this award. We decided on someone that has shown a very high level of resilience, dedication, commitment to their sport. They've had amazing success throughout their time at Borlase and through their competition or competing for their club side. So this year's award goes to Jazz Presho. Now Jazz is an athlete and specialising in pole vault. And what I did is I did a bit of research into recent results, including this season, which has obviously been affected. And Jazz has had a lot of success across multiple disciplines for athletics, but primarily for pole vault, and especially hit some really good personal bests in the indoor pole vault. So looking at results, rankings, PBs, in 2018-19 when she was under 17, she jumped 3 meters 30, finishing third place at the South of England under 17 indoor championships. In 2019 to 20, so that's this season just gone, she jumped 3 meters 50 to win the South of England under 20s indoor senior championships. That was in February. And then earlier in the year, she jumped 360, which gained second place at the Sale Harriers Indoor Open Series in December. So some amazing heights that she's covering. Her rankings for indoor, she was ranked 20th in the UK, that's for all pole vaulters, and as an under 20, she was ranked 4th in the UK. And then in the outside competitions, she, as in all age groups, she was ranked 29th in the UK and ranked 8th in the UK as an under 20. So some amazing achievements, some very, very good rankings, and really, really impressive to see Jazz hit those heights. 360 is a PB, December 2019, the indoor season. This season just gone is fantastic. And we are really behind Jazz as she looks to progress in her athletics career. And I'm delighted to say that Jazz Presho, you have won the Philip McIntyre Award for Outstanding Sport and Achievement. So congratulations to Jazz, and many thanks.
This time I'm here to present the Patterson Trophy for Outstanding Sporting Endeavour. It's one of our big 3 awards that comes along with the Philip McIntyre and the Robin Graham Awards. I guess the difference between the Patterson award and the Philip McIntyre is that word endeavour. The person that wins the Patterson Trophy really does have to work hard and show that endeavour to get to the top of their game, and usually goes to somebody who has that prowess to represent their country. And this year's no different. It goes to somebody who's not just represented their country at under 16 and under 18, but also captained their country in various test matches along the way. I think I'm right in saying this person has the full respect of all the staff that have worked with him, whether they're teachers or whether they're coaches, alongside the respective players who played alongside him. He also has the respect of all the juniors that he's coached, and that's something that can't be underestimated, is the commitment and time that these kind of people put into helping out others, and recognising their role model status within the school and the power that comes with to influence the next generation and mould the future of Borlase sport. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the Patterson Trophy for 2019-20 goes to Ben F.
Hi everyone, back again to present the Team of the Year award. This is an award that we present to the team that gets the most votes from the sports captains, but also the members of staff involved with the senior sports teams. Normally they deliver a speech pitching their team, but this year we've had a paragraph from each captain, which we've all looked at and voted. And I'm pleased to say that everyone got a vote. That's the first thing we always want. But also in terms of top two, it's very close. But in second place, it was boys rowing. But in first place and winning the Team of the Year for this year is netball. So congratulations to the netball team and congratulations to Captain Megan, and many thanks.
Thanks so much for this award, and congratulations to all of the players that has made this team what it is today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, hopefully this is the last time you'll hear from me and you've lasted the whole evening. It's been a long video, so thanks for sticking with us. Just finally from me, just want to say a few thank yous really to everyone that's made Sport and PE happen this year and for the previous few years of the students' lives at Borlase. So firstly I want to say thanks to Kate Porter, someone that works incredibly hard with our hockey setup but also our sports leader provision. Our site team here at school who do so much to prepare all our facilities. Chris Bateman and Marlow Sports Club for our partnership with them and the support that he specifically gives us with our maintenance up here at school. Longridge, one of the other companies and locations that we use, especially with our rowing, who have been really supportive of our rowing programme. The Old Borlasians, who have sponsored our caps but also support us massively here at school. Hawkins Sport, another local company who we do a lot of work with and have supported us massively and supplied all the trophies to the winners today. Miss Mountfield and Mr Simpson have done incredible work to support us in Sport and PE, especially with our new facilities on the horizon, so big thanks to both of them. To the Sport and PE team, we have had a few people leave this year. Miss Lewis, Miss O'Hara left earlier in the year, but also Mr Wilkinson and Mr Hill, who've worked incredibly hard over their time at Borlase, and we wish them well for their future endeavours. The Sport and PE team, Mr Hill, Mr Robertson, Mr Saul, Mr Stevens, Miss Jantz, Miss Wilson, Mr Long, Mr Wilkinson, Mr Joel, Mr Monk, Mr Chappell, do so much work to support the Sport and PE team and you guys, the students, so massive thank you to them. And finally, a huge thank you to all the students. Well done to those who've won awards, colours, but just incredibly thankful for all their efforts over their time at Borlase. And I wish you all an incredible summer. I wish you all the best for your future. Stay in touch and we'll speak soon.